The NFL just killed the Pro Bowl. Not another format tweak, not another new city. The whole thing is gone. After 75 years, there is no all-star game, no flag football, no skills competition. But buried in that announcement is one change nobody is talking about, and it will cost players money and a spot in history. Let's break down exactly what came out of the NFL owners meeting in Atlanta on Wednesday, because the headline and the fine print are telling two completely different stories. Starting with the 2026 season, 88 players will still be named Pro Bowlers. The voting formula does not change at all. Fans, players, and coaches each carry 1/3 of the weight, same as always. The roster still gets revealed in late December. That part of the tradition survives. Everything that came after it does not. There is no AFC versus NFC game anymore. No flag football matchup, no dodgeball, no tug of war, no precision passing, no best hands. Peter O'Reilly, the executive vice president who runs league events, stood in that room in Atlanta and said it flat out. He said, "It is okay to be the first league to walk away from a competitive all-star game." Think about how wild that sentence is. The biggest sports league on the planet just voluntarily deleted one of its own television properties. Leagues do not do that. Leagues rebrand, reschedule, repackage, slap a new sponsor on it, and try again. The NFL just took the whole thing out back, and honestly, the numbers gave them no choice. Go back to February. The Pro Bowl games got moved to a Tuesday night inside Super Bowl week at the Moscone Center in San Francisco, not a stadium, a convention center. The NFC beat the AFC 66-52 in a flag football game that felt like a corporate team-building exercise with better jerseys. And 2 million people watched. 2 million. To put that in perspective, the last time the Pro Bowl was actual tackle football, in 2022, it pulled 6.7 million viewers. Last year's flag version pulled 4.7 million, and everyone in the industry called that a disaster. This February dropped almost 60% from that disaster. It got beaten by the Hall of Fame preseason game. A preseason game in August. With backups, when your all-star showcase is losing to third-string quarterbacks in Canton, the autopsy writes itself, and it is not like they did not try. They moved it out of Honolulu to Miami, then Orlando, then Las Vegas. They scrapped the conference format entirely and let legends draft teams like a schoolyard pickup game. They bolted on mini-games. In 2023, they took the pads off completely and turned it into flag. 4 Pro Bowls under that flag format, and the NFC has won every single one of them, which tells you exactly how seriously anybody was taking it. Every fix bought about 1 season of goodwill. Then the numbers slid right back down. But now here is the part that actually matters. And almost nobody is leading with it. The 88 Pro Bowl selections are now final, permanent. There will be no alternates ever again. If a Pro Bowl quarterback tears his hamstring in Week 18, nobody slides up. If half the roster is playing in the Super Bowl, nobody replaces them. 88 names, locked. And that is a much bigger deal than it sounds like on first listen. Think about last season. Shedeur Sanders got named a Pro Bowler as a rookie in Cleveland as a replacement. Devin Lloyd in Jacksonville. Jake Ferguson in Dallas. Same situation. Under this new system, none of those guys are Pro Bowlers. Not alternate Pro Bowlers. Not Pro Bowlers at all. That line disappears from their bio permanently every single year. Dozens of extra players used to get added to those rosters through the replacement process. Those guys put it on their resume. Their agents put it in negotiations. Hall of Fame voters look at Pro Bowl counts when they are comparing 2 borderline candidates 20 years later. That entire pipeline just got shut off. The NFL is calling this protecting the integrity of the honor. And you know what? They are not wrong. When north of 100 players a year were getting labeled all-stars, the label stopped meaning anything. But let's be clear about who pays for that integrity. It is the fringe guys. The rotational pass rusher who had the best year of his life. The special teams ace. The rookie who was 7th in line and got a phone call. Those stories are over. Now let's talk about the money. Because agents across the league were on the phone Wednesday night. Pro Bowl bonuses are written into contracts everywhere. They range from around $150,000 up past $1 million for the biggest names. For a punter or a young special teamer on a modest deal, That clause can be worth 10 or 20% of their guaranteed money. It is real, life-changing cash. Here is the wrinkle. A lot of those clauses were written with language about being selected on the original ballot and participating in the game unless medically excused. There is no game to participate in now, so every one of those contracts needs a fresh reading, and the language teams and agents write this offseason is going to look very different than the language they wrote last offseason. Alternates almost never qualified for those bonuses anyway, but the resume value was real, and the resume value is what just evaporated. And it goes way beyond one bonus check. A Pro Bowl nod is leverage. It is the first line an agent reads out loud when he walks into a negotiation room. It is what turns a decent third contract into a great one. Shrink the pool of players who ever get to say those two words, and you have quietly shrunk what a whole tier of this league can earn. So what does the NFL actually get out of this? Because the league does not delete revenue for sentimental reasons, follow the calendar. That Pro Bowl weekend window is not going away. The 88 selections get flown to Los Angeles in February for an in-person celebration around Super Bowl week at SoFi Stadium. And sitting right next to that celebration, flag football everywhere. The league is stacking flag football events across Pro Bowl weekend and Super Bowl week in Los Angeles, including a showcase of the brand new professional flag league the NFL is building with TMRW Sports, the company behind the Primetime Golf League. That venture is backed by Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Larry Fitzgerald, and Tom Brady, with NFL clubs approving up to $32 million to get it off the ground. And the target is obvious. Flag football makes its Olympic debut in Los Angeles in 2028. More than 200 NFL players from over 25 different countries have already raised their hands to compete for their national teams. The NFL turned a game nobody watched into a marketing moment everybody will see, and Troy Vincent, who runs football operations, said this came straight from the players. He got more than a dozen stars on a call this summer, and the message back was consistent. After a full season and a brutal playoff run, they do not want competitive play. Vincent said the whole thing just does not sit well as a representation of NFL football. He is right. Watching guys jog through a fake game 2 weeks after the divisional round was insulting to everyone involved. But I will say this, something real is dying here. The Pro Bowl in Honolulu, players and their families on the beach, one last week of the season before everyone scattered. That meant something to generations of football players. It stopped meaning something a long time ago, and pretending otherwise was the actual disrespect. So now the question is yours. Did the NFL just protect the honor, or did it just quietly take a career milestone away from a few hundred future players who will never get to say they made it?